Medway Council for kindly inviting me along to represent European Active Projects Limited in order to share our recent experience of tendering for the Sun Pier Pontoon replacement on the Medway at Chatham. Before I come to that, I thought it would be an idea to share a few details about myself and the company I represent. I've lived in Medway most of my life and have worked within the marine sector for 20 years, as Perry was saying. An agent, which is what my role was is a middleman responsible for reporting to government departments like Port Health, Customs, Immigration, plus vessel owners, charterers, the cargo shipper, the cargo receiver, the Port Authority, and many of the port service providers such as tug operators, mooring gangs, stevedores, and lock operators, as we have at Chatham. The master and his crew's welfare are also very important. So a bit of shopping or arranging a dentist may be required, or an urgent flight home due to a sudden death in the family, or an early arrival of a daughter being born halfway around the world, or some of the services I've handled in the past. The worst job was arranging funeral directors to collect the body of a crew member who had suffocated in the hold of a vessel. His body was later repatriated to Belarus. One of the funniest things was a phone call I received from the ship's captain on a very poor line prior to his arrival. He was asking for ice cream. What flavour, Captain, I asked. No, ice cream. Well, it was funny until I had to go to the chemist and purchase it for him. I'll never forget the look on the pharmacist's face, head shaking, unconvinced to someone else. European Active Projects Limited is a bit of a mouthful, so now that we've been introduced, I'll be less formal and refer to the company as EAPL. I started with EAPL only 2 years ago, and although I missed the agency work, I have been lucky again. As with ship repair, there is never a dull moment. EAPL is probably an unfamiliar name to many of you here. Our head office is in Chatham Docks. We do have other premises strategically located throughout the UK, allowing us to offer an effective 24-hour service to ships agents, owners, offshore operatives, and other engineering companies. At Chatham, we currently have 15 full-time staff, 2 apprentices, and have about 30 skilled labourers working on numerous projects, including the American Embassy at Battersea, the overhaul of the Arco Dyke is currently on our berth, and we are supporting various works at the new Thames Gateway container terminal in Essex. The senior project manager usually gets the heads up about forthcoming projects. He knew the Sun Pier Pontoon works would eventually be up to tender, but on this occasion it was missed. But by pure chance, I read an article about the works in a local paper. We can do that before. I phoned Medway Council and eventually found my way through to the right person. The information and the forms to tender were emailed to me. Not much time became not enough time to express an interest, and I was asked by our management team to request an extension. Sadly, Medway Council could not extend the time, and we ruled ourselves out of the equation. After a week or so, I was contacted by Medway Council. Some technicalities had arisen, and once the council had addressed these, we were re-invited to tender. I passed all the details to the project managers to digest and get back to me. The guys were really busy, and a deadline was fast approaching again. Yet my health and safety manager assured me we would have it ready before the close of the day. He was then put in charge of a fire damaged vessel and flew out to Hamburg. That is when I took the decision to jump in the deep end and complete the tender myself. Despite having never tendered for anything before, it was going to have to be down to me. I called a meeting with the civils manager of GPS Marine, our subcontractor, and we've worked with them many times before. Our senior project manager, and in order to obtain answers to complete the questions and agree the timings and the estimated costs. As a first-time tenderer, the process initially appeared quite heavy. 22 pages were quite detailed, but once approached section by section, the process seemed straightforward, until confronted with the line, this answer must be confined to a maximum of 3,000 words. The clock was ticking. 3,000 words? Really? I opted to keep it short and sweet. Fortunately, I have completed a one-day IOSH course and have access to the company's health and safety files. With copies of the certificates to support the quality section and estimated quotations, all that was left to complete were the references. 2 recent jobs that we have done had similar requirements to the Sun Pier, and after digging out a method statement for one of the jobs and seeking approval from the clients to give references if approached, the process was complete. Well, almost. After making the number of required copies, binding them and then placing them in a large envelope, making up a receipt and hand delivering it to the council offices, the process was complete. As a first timer, I would rate Medway Council's tendering process somewhere between a breeze and ploughing through. I hear that when compared to other local councils though, Medway is a lot more contractor friendly. I hope so, because we were awarded the contract from Sun Pier earlier this month and we thank them. For other companies looking to tender for future projects, I would urge them all to ensure their health and safety records are in order and to provide training to their workforce. A year ago, EAPL made the decision to invest in training, with the majority of staff obtaining CSCS certification, enabling us to diversify and work on construction sites. I was placed on a one-day IOSH course, and a second person was put on a four-day IOSH course. The company has also sent its core welding staff on one-day sea survival courses to meet the requirements of our offshore and wind farm clients. The company does have valid ISO accreditation, and due to the nature of our business, also has a waste plan approved by the Marine Coast Guard Agency. EAPL is a member of the National Maritime Development Group and is also a member of the Kent and Victor Chamber of Commerce. EAPL is one of the last ship repair companies on the Medway with a non-tidal repair berth. The river needs service providers, something that the PLA, the Port of London Authority, and the companies on the Thames are just waking up to. There are still the skills, and there is still the willing on the Medway, which must be retained. I would urge local councils to visit and liaise with local marine companies and attend the meetings that the groups mentioned. It'd be fantastic for you to see what's available, and perhaps you could announce potential projects at these meetings, as well as placing them on the tender website. If local marine companies can sustain their existence by having the chance to tender for projects fair and square, then there can also be opportunities for more apprentices to be taken on in the future. The Sun Pier Pontoon replacement project is a great opportunity for EAPL and our subcontractor, GPS, to demonstrate their abilities. And as local companies, we are proud and look forward to restoring this asset for the people of Medway. Thank you all for listening.